Okay, my name is Jonathan. I'm currently an undergraduate in NUS. Okay, I want to talk about something that we haven't talked about. It's education. I think PM Lee recently in the parliament, he said that he wants to make every neighborhood school a good school. I thought that was a very good aspiration and very commendable. But I just want to say that the playing field has not been level ever since in time of preschool times. I'm sure many of you are aware that we have this thing called PCF kindergartens, which laymen know as PAP kindergartens. These kindergartens are staffed with A-level graduates, are staffed with people who go there part-time and housewives. And they are the one that teach the kids and just manage the kids. And I'm quite sure on the other end of the scale, we have things like Montessori and Kinderland. These places whereby you need at least 1K and above the school fees every single month. You know, and the thing is that the difference is that degree holders teach there, native speakers, they teach there as well. So immediately, it's not just about every kid having a good education and training. It's the quality of education and training. And you can see that, so I hope that one thing that I suggest is that maybe more budget can be put in, maybe an aspect of the budget can be put into the Ministry of Education to help to strengthen this aspect of teaching, you know, within the PCF kindergartens. You know, the disparity is really big. For instance, in Montessori, you go for speech and drama, creative writing, swimming lessons. You go to Sungai Gedong, like Sungai Gedong, the wildlife reserve. Then you have a graduate who go through with you. That's an osprey. That's a pelican. You know, but in PCF kindergartens, you just sleep from afternoon to and just pass time. Yeah. Okay. So I think and the environment is not conducive for their learning in the development of their language. So you have people who can speak very well. They are together in the good kindergartens. So that's where they develop their skill and they develop their linguistic development, and the disparity starts there. I also want to point out that one of the points is that we talk about the specialized schools in arts, sports, and science. But my question is that for many of these kind of sports like table tennis, swimming, badminton, these are things that the poor can never be able to afford. Swimming classes, buying tennis rackets, and just going for art classes. You know, and these are things that maybe the government can look into opening opportunities, like maybe, I know we have bursaries to help them tide through if your family is poor. But let's say a particular child or a group of child, they show interest maybe in their PCF kindergartens that they want to pursue certain kind of sports. Can we have a bit of funding, which is actually not a lot? I think a few grand a year will be enough for them to learn and expose them, you know, from a young age to this kind of thing. So we can see more potential. I think that will help our Singapore sporting fraternity and sporting scene as well as we increase the pool of people that, you know, we can see. Okay, then the last thing I just want to talk about is that I know the government is doing a lot to help the lower income. We talk about Comcare, Medifund, and things like that. You know, but in certain organizations that I work with and I volunteer with in my free time, I come into contact with close to 150 youths from the age of 13 to 17 from poorer areas like Yishun, Sembawang, Marsiling. You know, many of them, it's not that they don't receive the handouts or PA assistance or what. You know, it's that their parents have very poor financial management. The family don't know how to manage the finance well. You know, so I think the issue is not solved, does not go away when you just give them money. I think the government can improve the social infrastructure that supports it. You know, the counseling, I know WDA career consultants, based on the job fair that came NUS and said that the career consultants will help in counsel them and help to improve their habits and attitudes. But it's a long-term process. Can we set up something that can tide them through? You know, so yeah, I think it's really commendable that we want to make every school a good school. I think the truth is that not everyone is born. We can all go to ACS, like the very privileged guy there. You know, but you know, but I just want to say that I think when people in the neighborhood school, when they feel proud, when from young they go to a not so good school, they feel proud of their schools. That's where they learn to take ownership of the nation as well, when they first take ownership of their schools. So that's it.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. May I just ask, you know, where did you go to kindergarten?
I go to a church, but my family is not, they are not Christians.
Right, so it was a church kindergarten, I see.
It's slightly more expensive than the normal PCF.
Have you been to a PCF kindergarten?
I actually have friends who are working there who are currently A-level graduates.
Right, okay.
Before they entered uni, so earlier this year.
Right. As teaching assistants?
Yeah, but they do most of the teaching, they're the ones that can guide
They think lah, right. No, I just want to, because I think you've made certain comments, and I think some are very helpful, and I'm very glad to hear you acknowledge, the various efforts that have been made. But in fact, actually, it's not just PCF. All kindergartens are required to have qualified teachers, and there is a system for qualifying the teachers. And it's not just PCF. Every kindergarten have to make their principals and their teachers go through this qualification program. So having said that, yes, I do acknowledge that there will be differences. And if you compare the fees of what a PCF charges, typically for kindergarten children, don't talk about childcare, typically they don't pay more than $100 a month. And if you compare that to what you mentioned earlier, $1,000, obviously you must expect that it cannot be entirely the same. But I do appreciate, and we agree, that more could be done to support the upgrading of the quality for the whole preschool sector, because the shortage of preschool teachers is not confined to PCF. It's actually quite across the board. Just very quickly touch on your very important point about availability of enrichment programs to even children from lower income families. You are absolutely right. We want to be able to provide chances for even children from poorer families to avail themselves to these opportunities. That's why I think we continue to invest a lot in our community centers, community clubs. And you will find that actually on a typical Saturday, Sunday, if you go to the CCs, and they are sprinkled all over the island. Not all the CCs are $1 million, very beautiful CCs. Some are rather modest, but they continue to provide good opportunities to children of heartland families, good art classes, and even for us as advisors to grassroots organizations, whenever we host community events, we organize things like art competitions and so on. In that sense, we are also trying to avail, or rather make sure that the opportunities are available. And quite frankly speaking, we know who participates. It's not the parents of the children who can send them to NAFA. It's parents who of more modest means. And we're very happy to be able to provide these opportunities for them. So I think realistically, the opportunities that are available to children from different families are not going to be identical. But certainly I think what we try to do in Singapore is to make sure that through the community, through the CDCs, we still make sure that there are opportunities available. But I agree, there's certainly more that we can do. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
I just wanted to add that your point about leveling the playing field, helping our young from as early as possible to have the right starting point, to have a good start in life is very, very valid. Yeah. And really, we have, over the years, been increasing our investments in trying to help make sure that children from the lower income families have an equally good start as far as possible. So for PCF, for instance, let me say that the quality of the preschool education offered by PCF and other centers who may charge very much lower fees has improved, firstly because MOE stipulates a basic minimum curriculum as well as minimum qualifying criteria for the teachers. And let me tell you that speech and drama as well as creative writing classes are available even at the PCF centers. May vary slightly from centers to centers, but they are available at very, very affordable rates, and basically is to help level up, especially children from lower income families. And in fact, we do have funds from, say, People's Association to sponsor Little League Football Club, try and find talent. Table tennis is the same. And the schools themselves also make available opportunities for children from all income strata, really, especially in the neighborhood schools, who never had music lessons before they enter, say, formal school, to join the band, to join, the Chinese orchestra and things like this. And I think MOE makes such funds available. But obviously, there is always more that we can do, and precisely this is one of the reasons why, in budget we want to see what else we can do to try and help children level up. Okay, so one last point about having this structure. You again, very valid point, very good observation that for low-income families, sometimes it's also a question of how they handle their finances and whether there is actually a structure. Actually, it's not just the WDA consultant. It really depends on where these families go to as their first point of contact and assistance. Even within the CDC, there are actually staff who help to counsel. In fact, we send them for financial management courses also as part of the condition for us to assist them, say, financial support for a period of time before they get a job or get a better paying job before they can cope. So these are some of the areas that there is a structure. But obviously, even if you make it a criteria, some people may still not show up. So it takes time, like you rightly pointed out, to get them out of the poverty trap. If it is due to bad management of their finances. But obviously not all are like that. It's just like you were talking about healthcare, many places available. Why still depend on a foreigner? Besides the pay, one of the problems really is this is a very challenging sector. And if it's healthcare attendant, many of our locals may not want to work, even with the right pay. Right? So multitude of factors.